Hey guys, before we get into the podcast, we wanted to quickly make a disclaimer. In this episode, we discuss television shows like Skins, Euphoria, and 13 Reasons Why. Each series addresses serious subject matter such as eating disorders, suicide, sexual assault, drug abuse, and more. We wanted to also mention we are not doctors, and all of the discussions are based on personal experience. No hard feelings if this isn't the episode for you. Here's the intro.
Hey.
Hey.
We're back.
We're back. It's season 2.
New year, new season. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, we haven't done an episode since our Christmas special on YouTube only. YouTube exclusive episode.
It's like Emma's podcast is Spotify exclusive now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's probably making bank.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, we're not Emma though, unfortunately. So anyway, what is up, Paige? We haven't I don't know.
It's been like crazy this semester too. I feel like for our course we have a lot of just like choose your own stuff. I don't really have a lot of classes with like anyone. So
I literally I cannot think of the last time I saw you in person.
I think it was probably Lydia's.
Oh, wait, yeah, that was kind of recently. For some reason I thought I was like, I haven't seen Paige since like November.
No, but that's so fair because that is true. Because like before the Christmas break.
School's so like hard. It gets busy. I don't know.
It does get busy.
Especially this semester she's doing her thing.
She's pretty heavy.
Anyway, in typical IRL fashion, the show's not changing this season really. We're gonna have some special guests on.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So look out for that. We have some good topics. So yeah. But anyway, as our favorite segment is our obsessions of the week, what we're loving right now. Do you want to start? I can start. I don't really care.
I can start. I'll go in. I would say my favorite thing right now. It's been like a hot minute since we've done this. So I'm really racking my brain. I think I'm gonna say I really like this band Inhaler. They just came out with a new album. So it's called Cuts and Bruises. Pretty good. Banger. I'm going to see them in March, so
yes.
So excited.
Do you have a favorite song off the album? I haven't listened to it, but
I think it's kind of like cheesy to say one of the singles are my favorite, but I really do like Love Will Get You There, which was a single. But out of the songs that were released with the album, Dublin and Ecstasy is also pretty good. I like that one.
I don't know anything about Inhaler. Is one of them a Nepo baby?
Yes. The lead singer is Bono's son.
Oh, okay, random. I feel like all Nepo babies are pretty random. I don't know. They're just like, I don't even know who your dad is. Like, I know who Bono is. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, my obsession right now, it's not really niche at all. I try to be quirky girl, but I've been obsessed with Drag Race lately, which is like a long time. Like, I've always loved the show, but like, so the new season's airing right now, and I'm weirdly invested, even though I don't really like the queens on the show. Like, I don't know. I just like, I get fired up about it. So like, especially, it's just like good conversation. Like, me and all my coworkers, we love talking about it each week. So yeah, I keep watching it. But over reading week, I've been like bored and kind of tired of watching just like normal TV. So like, whenever that happens, I normally go to reality TV. Like that's my go-to. I love reality TV. So I've just been like watching old Drag Race seasons on loop, and I've watched like 5 full seasons this week of Drag Race, which is like insane. Like what is wrong with me? And it's like I have a life, I promise. I like work and stuff, but I don't know where I'm finding this time. I've watched so many.
It's your free time, and you know what?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta consume some media that's just like pretty positive and doesn't really impact anything. Like it's so isolated from anything that I'm just like, oh, I can just shut my brain off and watch these like people be funny.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, exactly. Like just no thoughts.
No thought. Head empty. Speaking of head empty. Sorry, I don't know if that was a bad joke.
No, I think it was funny. I think it was really good.
Today we're talking about mental health.
Maybe that was a weird transition. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, so if we're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna get too in depth with anything, but if topics of mental health upset you, maybe this isn't the week for you to listen, and that's okay, because we have plenty of more fun episodes planned, and you're not really missing anything, I promise.
Not really.
I need to look at like what I want to talk about. I don't know if you want to start.
Yeah, sure. I mean, on the realm of mental health, man, that's so crazy.
It's crazy. I think one thing that's crazy is like how much we talk about mental health now, not in a bad way, like that's not crazy, but I feel like I never heard anyone talking about it as a kid, or like I never saw it on TV or anything. So I think that's like cool that it's like a conversation in everyday life type of thing. Like we can be more open about that. I love that. Yeah. Speaking of TV, I really wanted to just, for some reason with this topic, I want to talk about Skins, because that show is a foundational issue for a lot of things, for a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know when you watch Skins. I feel like every slightly mentally ill girly has seen Skins. At least like I don't think I've seen the show all the way through. I think I just watched like the first, they do like the generations. Like I watched like the first group.
Me too.
I don't think I ever I might have watched part of the second, but after a while it was too much,
Mm-hmm. I watched the first generation, and then I watched like probably 3 episodes into the one with Effie, but that one didn't grip on me, and I'm actually kind of glad, because I saw some edits later on and I was like, wow, I thought the first one was difficult to watch.
The edits. I would go on YouTube at like, I don't even know how old I was. Like this had to have been early high school, I think. And I would just like watch Skins at like sad Skins edits. That was my favorite thing in the entire world. And like, why? I don't know. Why do I want to watch that?
I don't know. There was like some kind of like it sounds awful, but like an appeal to like how sad they were.
Well, I think a lot of it's like, actually I don't know what I think. I was gonna say something and then it left my mind. I need to like remember how to podcast right now. The wheels are not turning in my brain. Like
I'm like, right, I need to be actively engaging in a conversation.
Like when's the last time I've done that? Yeah, Skins. It was like, I feel like it was one of the first teen shows. I don't know any other adult shows, but like one of the first teen shows to really talk about mental health and like also substance issues. Like Euphoria, those kids were crazy. I remember, I think it was like in the first episode they like threw this huge party, and I wanted, it made me want to party. I did not, as we all know, I did not after that, but I just like wanted to be them so bad. And I think it's like, at least like with Skins, a lot of people just like teenagers are just like projecting onto the characters. Like that's what I did. Like I found my like favorite girly and was like, yeah, that's me. She's just like me. And then I was watching the edits being like, yes, this is me.
You know what was also bad about that show, I think, is that people would watch it and there's always like in shows you're like, well, not always. Maybe this is just like a certain people trait. It's definitely a me trait that when I watch something, if there's a character that I like in it, I kind of want to be like them. And so then I would watch it and be like, wow, Cassie is so crazy.
I was just about to say that because there's a specific scene, and it was like on YouTube. I think you're already gonna know what I'm saying, but it's this whole scene where Cassie's like basically explaining how like her tips and tricks with her ED, and is like at a table being like, this is how I show like pretend to eat when I'm eating with someone. That scene.
That's messed up. When she's at the party and she reorganizes the entire cabinet, but she just smells the food. That's like,
Yeah, those, it's hard to like draw a line between what's good for representation of mental health and like what's like, okay, this is kind of just teaching people type of thing, which is hard, especially, sorry, I'm gonna keep going, but with like the whole Cassie thing, like EDs are so competitive, you know, like people will see things and be like, oh yeah, that's why they do so well, and that's why they always pop up on social media as like a trend type of thing, especially like I see it on TikTok a lot too. Yeah, I just think that's why, which is like, it's kind of hard to go against that. But what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna like bring up like even with like when 13 Reasons Why came out.
Yeah.
I know that was huge too, and there was like that big battle about like what was like good for representation and what was just not right to show.
Insane. Like, it's insane that, because Skins was so far before that, and I feel like it kind of did the same thing. But that bathtub scene, this is really like,
I just found out actually that was removed.
yeah, it was.
And I did not know that.
Yeah.
I watched it like the first week it came out. So like,
I've actually never seen 13 Reasons Why, but I've like heard enough, because when it like first came out, it was such a big deal. Like everyone was watching it, everyone was talking about it. At least like at my school, I remember it. And I always like, I think this was in 8th grade. I don't know if this was season 1 or 2, but in 8th grade, this kid like came up to me in one of my classes and was like, "You look like the girl from 13 Reasons Why." Obviously the brown one, not I can't think of her.
For a second I was like, Hannah Baker? What?
Hannah Baker in the flesh. No, I look like, I don't know her character's name, but Alicia Bowe. And literally for every time that show was airing, it was always, "Oh, you look like the girl from 13 Reasons Why," and that like turned me away from the show. And also just like, I was not really messing with the subject matter. I just thought it was weird, especially like the whole tape thing.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. I think I watched. I can't even. I don't know if I finished. I did actually. I think I did finish season 2, and then I don't know how many seasons there are.
I think 3.
I don't think I watched season 3. I don't think I finished season 2 because I feel like it. At the end of season 2 is that broomstick scene, right? And I did not watch that.
No.
That is absolutely insane. And if they were gonna remove stuff, I feel like that is something to remove.
Especially, like, I feel like Skins, 13 Reasons Why is so catered towards teens that's just not okay, because teens are so impressionable and stupid.
I just remember, like, season 1 was weird, but it was almost like okay, like, this is very extra and, like, wouldn't really happen in this sense. And then season 2 came out, and they made it, like, about, like, very, very structured around, like, sexual assault and stuff like that. And it was, like, very visual and very aggressive with it. And I was just like, wow, this is a lot. And the whole entire time that was happening, Dylan Minnette was just running around like, oh my god, I'm in love with this dead girl. And I was like, this is not, like, a storyline that I want to be converging. Like, this is a lot for me. And I remember that's when, like, season 2 came out and everyone was like, release Dylan Minnette from the shackles of 13 Reasons Why.
That poor guy. He did not.
He didn't deserve that.
He didn't know.
No, he didn't. He was like, Selena Gomez wants me to play a lead? Of course I'll take it. Poor guy. And then he's making music like Quarterback, and we're like,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like those shows are always really interesting, and like I feel like today's version of that is definitely Euphoria. A lot of, I feel like the mental health stuff is, I don't want to say like more subtle, because they do like the special episodes and stuff, and they do go in depth, but I feel like they don't like outwardly talk about it, which I guess Skins doesn't do either. I'm just comparing more to 13 Reasons Why. They're not openly like, oh well, my insert thing made me do this, you know? I think that's interesting. It's more subtle, and like with Euphoria, I know there was a lot of like discourse constantly when season 2, at least when season 2 was airing, it was like all you could see on your timeline was Euphoria, blah 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 blah, and it's all this discourse about like these characters and stuff, and it's very interesting because they were like, I feel like people were just treating them like real people too. I don't know, like they're obviously written, and that's kind of where like mental health stuff gets weird, because it's like I feel like it's never fully accurate on TV, but I don't know.
yeah, I feel like also with Euphoria, like season 1, I was watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this definitely happened in my high school. And I think that was a big appeal with season 1, was like people were like, this is like crazy, but also like all of these are very, very like realistic. Maybe not to like every person, but at least for like where I'm from, like that stuff was happening. And then when season 2 came out, I feel like it like built on those and took them all to like extremes. And I feel like people also, I've like been told by like many people that like they have a hard time watching it, or like decided to stop watching it because it was like too much for them.
Yeah,
And I'm
and
like,
I think it's good to draw that line for yourself though, because they're just, it's not worth just participating in some, like it's okay to miss out on one thing if it's gonna be a detriment to you, you know. Onto another topic. How do you feel that social media kind of impacts your mental health, or like how have you seen it? I don't know.
I would say I feel like this isn't like a major issue for me anymore. I feel like it definitely like was an issue with me when I was younger. I think social media, like we all know that it's not great for your mental health, but I also personally I use social media to like share my like exciting events that happen in my life. So I post those as kind of like a timeline to go look back on. I'm always looking at my Instagram posts. It might sound egotistical, but like I'll be scrolling through those videos at concerts all the time. If you guys don't want to see it, sorry, but I do. So I'm going to watch them a lot. And that also, I think, contributes to a mental health issue that's more personal, which would be if I'm doing that, others are obviously doing that. And then there's that kind of FOMO attached to it that I think really, that's the biggest thing for me, is when I see people doing things and doing things that I want to do without me, I'm like, my life is so sad.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I there? Why didn't I do that? But I think, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like theorizing right now. But like if you look at that in a broader spectrum, you realize that there's FOMO attached to it, obviously, but everyone's just posting things that they want to remember. I think that's my biggest like concept on like social media in regards to mental health. It's kind of like your own thing. That, like, it can be bad, but also it can be good, and you've got to set your own boundaries, sort of.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think for me, at least, especially when I was younger, first of all, I'm so glad that social media wasn't a thing when I was like the fact that there are kids on TikTok at like 8. Good luck, Charlie. Like,
Good luck, Charlie.
good luck. Because even I'm trying to think of when I even got on social media. Like, I was like 11, 12. I think I was 12. I was like near 13, because that's technically when you're supposed to. And at least when I was turning 13, it was like you really had to get permission from your parents to get Instagram. Was more the vibe.
13 with parental.
Yeah. So after I like begged my parents and stuff, I got Instagram, and like immediately, like with all the like influencers and beauty gurus and stuff, because I loved me some Bethany Moda. Like I loved the beauty gurus. So like I would follow them on Instagram, and I would just see how awesome their lives were. So bad for me. Bad for everyone. I feel like this is a pretty basic conversation. Even I feel like we talk about, like, we as and everyone talks about this a lot, but like seeing all these like perfect people, or like the Kardashians, and like filters, especially like those TikTok filters that are like makeup. I say as if I don't have a beauty filter on right now. Oh,
I definitely don't, and I've been looking at myself this whole time, and I'm like, she's looking pink. She's looking pink and yellow.
It's okay. we're real here is the thing.
We are. We're very real here. And if I would have prepared myself a little better, I probably would have put a beauty filter on.
But you didn't, and you still look beautiful, and that's okay.
Thanks, Idy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like sitting here cursing myself out for cursing right now. So that's all. We got so far without me doing it though. It's fine.
It's fine. I do it a lot, so
yeah, social media, not the vibe for mental health. At least for like, I do post a lot of like stuff for myself, but I'm still kind of finding to stop comparing myself to other people, because I'll see like, especially people who like post their like fun little photo dumps all the time. I'm like, dang, I wish my life was as cool as you. Or not even that, like I wish my Instagram looked as cool as yours. I wish my feed looked like yours. Back in the day we used to call it my aesthetic. I wish my aesthetic was as cool as yours.
My IG theme, I don't know if you had this back in the day. I had a specific filter I would use on every single one of my photos. I would whiten the backgrounds of like everything so it was super white, and then like saturated a bunch. The white borders theme too, that was so popular back then.
Okay, so my current Instagram isn't my first account, but I have so many like archive posts, because I've archived like everything from high school, middle school, all that stuff. I need to find my like pink theme. I used to have black and white theme.
That's so Harry Styles.
It was for months. It was, yeah. Oh, I used to post covers. Oof. Oh my god, I need to find it. Or like I would like post little quotes with my theme. We're getting the pink in the bottom, but my pink theme, I would put like pink over everything. Notice my bangs. This.
That Snapchat filter used to go dumb though.
Yeah, also the fact that I look the same since I was
I don't know if I would say that you look the same, honestly.
Thanks. that smile, that was me trying to get my dimples out so hard.
That's so real though.
I was literally like forcing them so hard, like those are not there. I don't know how.
Like the Adeline Morin. I don't know if you used to watch the Adeline Morin, like how to get dimples tutorial.
Sorry, now we're just going through my Instagram, but I need to show you this boomerang from when I did the color run. And like, sorry, my light's like reflecting off of it. Hold on. And I like was like blowing the dust. and it says spreading happiness because I did the color run.
So proud of you for that.
I put a hashtag on that too. Anyway, sorry to go down memory lane a bit. But yeah, the themes. But yeah, like comparing myself to other people, because in my head I know that we're all just trying to post our best things. We're all trying to look our best. But my eyes don't think that. My eyes don't have brains. So they just see.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I get in my head about it because I like care about how I'm perceived. I'm sorry, but I do. Most people do. Like I care about what people think about me. And like nowadays your Instagram is kind of a big representation of what people think of you. Like even in now that we're in person in school, like a lot of people I met through Instagram, or like I saw their Instagram first and then wanted to be their friend. Literally like Paige, we like I texted you and was like, you have to be my friend because I saw your Instagram and thought you were cool. So that's another thing that like I still struggle with now, but like what can you do? Sometimes you just have to like get over yourself is what I like to say. Um
Also, Pinterest, I've realized recently, I am such a big Pinterest girl. I love me some Pinterest, and recently, money's been really, really, really tight. And as I'm scrolling through Pinterest, I'm finding it less enjoyable because I realize that all of these photos are basically just a bunch of pictures of things that I want or things that I feel like I need to spend money on.
that's another thing that I think like TikTok really does. It people on that app are like like especially like the influencers and stuff, they're so wealthy but they like hide it. And they cosplay as poor or whatever. So that makes people who don't have the money to afford the things that they have feel bad about themselves, and like that can go into a whole rant
Like,
about.
that could be a whole different podcast episode, but
We do an episode about class struggle.
people are like, this is not what we came for. We don't care about you 20-year-old girls. Like,
Talk about being poor.
they're like, join the club.
Get in line, girl. Get in line. Yeah, we're poor. It makes us feel bad.
What can you do?
What can you do? Another thing that makes me feel bad is anxiety. I don't know why I'm doing these like really weird segues into topics. Another thing that makes me feel bad is I want to touch on the bullet points because we have some good things on our little list going. Social anxiety. I like Okay, so first of all, I'm not like diagnosed with anxiety, but everyone gets anxiety. Especially when I was a kid, I was just like really shy and I hated talking to people, and like eventually I got over that, thank God. But it was a struggle, and like I've like realized it's just really me being an introvert, and like I don't know, just being scared because my parents, I don't know if your parents would do this, but like because I was shy, they would try to push me into situations more. So like at McDonald's, I was scared to order, as I still am to this day. I literally have to like, for the most part, if I'm going out to like get fast food, I will mobile order. I don't care what the restaurant is, unless I'm like with people. So like as a kid, like this has been a thing my whole life, and like a lot of people just don't really like ordering. I don't know. It's just a thing. But my parents would be like, no, you need to order. And they would like have me stand there and they wouldn't say what I want. And then they'd make me order to the person. And first, as someone who's been on the other side, who's been like at the register, do not.
So awkward on the other side, too. You're like feeling so bad for the person. You're just like waiting for them. You don't want to like also like butt in and try and finish what they're saying either, because that makes it worse. Just so awkward.
Yeah, so that was like the origin of mine. I don't know. It was just like ordering food. And now definitely like doctor's appointments, like dentist appointments. I hate making appointments. I've like low-key ghosted my dentist because I can't.
I just went to the dentist yesterday, and that is a dentist appointment that I had canceled for 2 years. So I finally went, guys, but that is a huge, huge thing for me. Something about phone calls, that's, I think, a big, big struggle for me. Going in person is scary, yes, but something about calling, I don't understand what it is. I don't have a theory for it.
I like have also struggled with that, but you know what I do, which like has really helped me, is I'll make a script for myself. Like anytime I have to make a phone call, there's a script. There's so many just like random phone call scripts in my phone, and it's because, well, one time I think in high school, like I had to call someone for my mom, but it was like something for me, so like I had to call, and I was really stressed out about it. She was like, "I'm gonna write you a script," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she wrote me a script, and now I just do that every time, which is like insane. But even with like just the introduction to a phone call where I'm like, "Hi, can I speak to this person?" I will literally write that down and just read it out, because it gets me like out of my head of like thinking, "Oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to do?" And then it kind of puts me into like, "Oh, I need to just read this out loud," type of thing.
I will write scripts and I will do this thing where like I will put it off for as long as I possibly can still. But I will do this thing where like, okay, pretend my camera is like the call button. I will type in the number and I will sit there for about 10 minutes freaking out, and then I'll just go 1 2 3 and press it really fast. Because if I press it super fast, then I can't go back. It's already started ringing, and then that person will know I called, and they'll either call me back or know that I called. So I've just got to stick it out.
Exactly. You kind of just have to, I like in general with like anxiety and stuff, you have to get yourself out of your comfort zone, which is easier said than done. So we just had some connection issues, so that's at least that's for the YouTube video. I don't know what we were just talking about either.
I could not tell you. Oh, we were talking about like phone calls, but I don't think that like.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm so annoyed right now with my existence.
This is one of those topics too, just like the dating episode, where there's so much ground to cover that we'll probably do another episode on this topic. We'll probably mention other things. We probably missed a few things.
And we probably didn't make sense for all of it, so...
Hey. What can you do?
No one comes here for an intellectual conversation, I'll tell you that.
They come here to hear me say like too many times.
I don't notice that you do that though, so...
I've been catching myself this new season, new me.
New season, new me.
I'm gonna try and lower that number.
We should do like a cuss count each episode, but like, I don't know if that made sense, but like, never mind. Okay, before I hit myself, we need to like end this episode.
Yeah. You guys know the socials.
Yes. Please follow. It'll be in the description as well if you're on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. Yeah.
Check us out. We've got some new people joining our team too. Super excited for you guys to meet them when we are actually in the studio.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Paige is home for break, so that's why. But we love it. Anyway, I guess that concludes the episode.
Thanks so much for coming along and...
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm participating, but I guess it was just like a listening participation thing.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on...
Yeah, list them name by name, actually, in the comments.
Yeah, I actually want to hear everyone's opinions on every single thing we touched on today, so I want to hear your thoughts on skins. I'm not going to run down the whole episode, but yeah. That's it. Yeah, get to it.
Just skins? Just skins, though, not the other two. Only skins. Alright, guys. Peace.
Bye.